think we're back. Let me know if you're back. I think I may have fixed our problem. I'll do a speed test again now to show you. Yeah, we had a bit of a glitch there if you're watching this from a saved version. My internet was glitching internet. Now it's booming up to, it's just zooming up to 900 megabits per second. Yes. So that should be that issue fixed and getting good indications. Thank you very much, Johnny, for welcoming me back. So it's just a question of resetting on my routers. Now I wouldn't mind, but I did that yesterday as well. So, you know, and the upload there, look at that. Very nice. Excuse me. Okay, we is back, people. We is back. I freeze the sim. It was just getting exciting there, you know. I ran out of fuel in the left engine whilst the stream was breaking up, and whilst I was getting icing, whilst I was almost to stall, whilst all these terrible things were happening. So now we're back where we were. You'll see me. You can join in again, and let's see how I fix this problem. I fix it. Of course I will. Resuming. Can you all see the sim? There's people there. Right, so I was off course by a lot because I was looking over here. So we're going to get back on course. We got 91.5 miles to go now. Sorry to do this to you again. Now I can put my graphics back because 1080p now looks terrible. You know, I'm not pleased with 1080p, and I used to think that was okay. I'll tell you a story about 1080p now in a second and high definition. Do you want to keep? Yes, of course I do. I just changed them. Yeah, apply and save. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do your job there now. Yeah. Now we're back. 4K. Well, 1080p. Okay, now we're getting. No, I'm not getting back. I'm going the opposite direction. 20-degree turn. We're descending a little bit. Getting level again. Getting the aircraft back in shape. There we go. Turning nicely. I want to get back into a climb if we can. I've got full power on. I'm giving her everything she's got, Captain. And we'll get through this. We'll get through this together. We're back. Oh, straighten up there. Straighten up. There we go. Like better intercept than that. Right, we're intercepting. We're 91 miles out. We're going to get. I don't know what the air feels like. I look it up now. We are climbing a little bit too much. I'm going to trim those down a bit. 500 feet a minute. It's fine. We're at 10,700 feet. It's kind of struggling now. You know, kind of struggling. Are the flaps up? I bet you the flaps are down now. I bet you the flaps are down. The main menu. You know, it puts the flaps down. It's a little bit bumpy. Flaps are good. Yeah, so we're getting to Rotterdam. We're making good headway. A little bit of ice building up. Not a lot. Not a lot. I would say I couldn't see any in the airframe earlier on. But we're good. I wonder if I open the window and where's the icing in the window? No. Break off. Okay, so we're good now. Oh, very nice. Let's get some light actually going on here. Where was the light? Come on. There we go. Thank you. That's much better. That's much better. Now we're getting a nice climb. Oh, we're not really actually. I said, see, it's 65 knots now, folks. You know, we're at the zenith of how high we can go. Let's get an intercept here for the radial. Let's look outside. And now let's go back to the comments as well. And welcome everybody back. We're in the soup in a big way. No airframe icing I can decipher. A little bit. There's a little bit. Is that a scratch or is that icing? That looks like that's icing there, building up nice and slowly. A little bit of ice in the windows there, see that? So that's going to cause a bit of extra. There's some icing there, okay? So we're getting a bit of icing. And what does that do? Well, it will disrupt the airflow over the wing. And it will add weight. There's a bit of icing building up slowly, look. So that's well modelled. Am I the first person to do this? Show you the icing? I hope so. Unbelievable. Okay, good. We're on track then. We've got 89 miles to go. I'm getting good indications for our stream. Now let's have a look at the comments. I'm going to go back here. I'm just going to have a quick look at the YouTube comments to see who's back. Anyone back from YouTube? Hello, Puff and Dev. Greetings. Hesitating, Dead Pig says. Breaking up. Okay, that was from earlier on. Okay, let's see if we get back onto the YouTube. Let's just go to now.
My job is to make copies here because students.
Let's just go. No. I'm hoping. Yeah, the state of you back now on YouTube. I see it's drifting off to the left again because I'm not looking at my instruments. See how important it is? You know? 11,500 feet. To the right of track here by a good bit. It's bothering me. Now, ordinarily this would happen on a real aircraft because you're not flying with a mouse. In my defence, and you're not looking over here all the time. Danny Boy's back. Yes is saying, how would you rate the model lat? I gave it in my video on YouTube. Have a look at. I made it as cinematic as possible given the time constraints I have. I gave it 10 out of 10. Now, the reason I gave it 10 out of 10 is because I couldn't find anything obviously wrong with it, and I was so impressed. It was such a joy to fly. The landings are really superb. I mean, they're challenging because it's a tail dragger. And when I couldn't get through to the video is when I was editing. I spotted it too late. The suspension of the wheels, of all the little tiny details of the graphics, and the way the aircraft handles, the way it's physically presented with regards to physics to us now, is really, really good. Now, I can't say, we were talking about this earlier on, I can't say if this is very accurate. Who can, is the problem. Now, there may be a little bit some more tweaking to be done, but it's not, I would imagine it's not too far off. So, I didn't find anything obvious with the physics in that respect. You may say, I had a discussion on the phone with someone about this today, but it takes off very quick. And then at 65 knots with those two engines blasting, lift of the props over the wing, that's gonna, and the big thick wings, so it's going to have a lot of lift. It's going to be short takeoff and landing. Yeah, and as a result, I was flying with no passengers. It was empty. It took off very quick. It took off very early. So that's just something people have noticed. So I don't think that's an issue. All the details, I mean, 10 out of 10 considering. I'm looking at this here now. It's just nice and clean and readable, and it's the icing's working. Everything's the details. Like there's the oil there, how much oil we have left. They have everything modelled, and the fuel is actually an indicator outside the wing here, on both sides, and at the front. The whole model, it's like an Airfix model, a really good one, if that makes any sense. One of the reasons, the sound is just insane. Duskbat, Rabbit, greetings. Oro, Rolf Lupter, ZA. It's working great, thanks Rolf. Danny Boy's back. Danny Boy 1587 is back as well on YouTube there. Thank you very much. I'm delighted you came back. I just had to reset everything. That's all. It happens. Johnny F said, the yoke says 120 kilometers. Oh, I see what you're saying. Hang on. Okay. We got some details here, folks. V1. Kilometers. That's 60. Is that about 65? Hey Siri, what is 120 kilometers per hour in knots? 64.79 knots. 65 knots. There you go. I noticed that yesterday, 65 knots. I was rotating when I was playing around with it. So so it's pretty good. 65 knots. I also read it also somewhere else as well. Yeah, they got the retrofit model, which I have been playing around with as well. But you see, you've got kilometers per hour here as well. So it seems to be operating as it should, you know. So the sound is insane. You've got the two models. You've got the retrofit here, and you've got the 1939 model. You've got loads of, you've got the skis, you've got the floats, you've got all the different liveries. 10 out of 10. The only reason I'm saying 10 out of 10, I believe I can, and I'll tell you why. Because I've been doing this for, well, I've been flying Flight Simulator since I was a kid. I've had every version of Flight Simulator you can think of, including all the Microsoft ones, back to the Sublogic, back in the 80s. I've been doing the channel since 2019, and I've looked at an awful lot of aircraft, and I never give points. But I did think about it this time. I never give points for 10 out of 10 or 8 out of 10 or anything like that. I thought it would be more interesting to have some sort of a base for everyone to reach up to. And I think this is the first airliner, I know it's an old one, the first airliner that has done really, really well. And I think it is. I think it deserves 10 out of 10. Now tell me if I'm talking nonsense here. That's fine. If I'm talking nonsense, I'm happy to hear it, because I want to learn, you know. What I think 10 out of 10. Now from this 10 out of 10, if I rate another aircraft, at least I have a benchmark, you know, to measure it from. So if I see another aircraft, for example, this is how I'm thinking of a rating system. If I see another aircraft that is taken out of Flight Sim X, I'll just say I'll have to make a rule, deduct 1 point or 2 points automatically. I think it maybe deserves 3, you know. I think that maybe deserves 3. So I have to come up with a scientific method to do the point system. So I think this is a good, I think you'll agree, you know. I hope you'll agree. Let me know. I'm open to suggestions, folks. So we are 80 miles away. I'm having difficulty getting past 11,000 feet. It's up and down. We're in a bit of a problem here. Let's have a look at the weather in Rotterdam. Let's have a look at the weather. So, the producer Buttons is now, as we speak, inspecting the bin for any wrappers. I'm going to have a look at the weather here. I'll show you where I'm looking. That's what I always do. Delta. This, oh god, this here is an app I use in the real world flying, okay? It's called AeroWeather, and these are the commercial or aviation meteorological actual reports and terminal area forecasts. As you can see, the terminal area forecast, if you've got more than 6 lines, you know you're in trouble. Yeah. So it's telling me basically that weather shit, it's down to 700 meters, it's 18 knots gusting 30, showers of rain, broken at 1800 feet, the wind is 290 at 15, becoming 290 at 15, gusting 25 knots. So yeah, I've opened up myself. I think I put myself in a bit of a spot in today's stream. It seems this is VF4, so the cloud base at the moment. Few at 700 feet, scattered at 900 feet, broken at 1,000. I'm in trouble now, folks. And I'm running out of fuel. Yeah, I'm in trouble. Now, I'm not going to cheat there from now on. I'm going to try and probably crash. Now, normally I divert to somewhere else. You go on the radio, you look up a few other places nearby, you find out whether the weather's good, and you would actually divert. I know it's happened to some of you on holidays, and it's happened to me, you diverted somewhere else. I won't mention the airline, Ryanair, and they dumped us in some place and just ran away. And I had nowhere to stay. All the hotels were closed because it was winter time, you know, and they just left us there. We've all been through it. But this time I'm going to be foolish, I'm going to try and get into Rotterdam. Now, look at the icing build-up. There's a lot of ice coming up on this aircraft, right? Look at that. Well done, Asobo. Look at that. The ice, we're all iced up. Who's that? You deserve credit there. That was very, very nice flying. I can't see her. Why can't I see her? Driver Pineapple, nice one, my friend. Nice one. Give me back to tags. Nice, there's Benny, there's Johnny F. Yeah, they're both flying them as well. I can see some off in the background. Very nice, Driver Pineapple. I'm all over the shop here. Oh, have I turned all the way around again? So what do I do, right? Not a lot I can do, but there is something I can do, right? I'm delighted because I did want to get the icing. I didn't know what the weather was like in Rotterdam, I swear. Okay, I didn't know. Divert, you can't see anything. How are you navigating with so much ice? I don't know. So we're the aircraft is. I've got full power. I'm getting 200 feet a minute. I'm at 10,800 feet. Where is the temperature gauge? I spotted this earlier on when I was examining the aircraft. Don't tell me about the temperature gauge because it didn't. Where's the temperature? Where is the temperature? The temperature now is. It's minus 4 degrees. So, minus 4 degrees, okay? Fine, I can handle that. So, what does that mean? Well, if I descend 2,000 feet, the temperature will be 0. And if I descend more than that... Sorry, folks. If I descend more than that, damn it. If I descend more than that... Alt is supposed to... Oh, no, sorry. If I descend 2,000 feet, it will be at 0 degrees. So, in other words... if I descend, 4,000 feet, the ice should melt, should it not? So we're going to descend a fair amount, okay? So let's start descending. So I'm going to trim nose down. I'm going to take a bit of power off, save some fuel, and we're going to see if that ice starts to melt. It's not quite the passenger's by. Nose right down. So we're descending now. A nice gentle descent. So picture the ice, folks. With the wind and everything. That is going to melt, I hope. Look at that. Look at that, folks. Yes. Let's go to the navigation. So we're going to melt that ice. Get back onto. It keeps turning to the left, to the right, sorry. I don't want to mess around with the rudder trains because I won't get them back to... Very hard to get them back to the centre. I'm going a bit too fast now. I only want about 2.5 degrees to set right, please. So we'll come down to 5,000 feet, okay? So we're going to try and make it to Rotterdam. I want to examine the weather again, though. It's amazing. It's quite bumpy and windy here as well. I'll try to keep those engines well. Now, I haven't noticed the pitot, the air. I want to see as well, it doesn't seem to be freezing up the pitot tube, right? I'm way off here. I want to get right back on that. That is quite annoying. We are now 72 miles out. This is a tough one. Will I make it? Current altitude PC boom is... We're descending through 7,100 feet now. Descending at 1,500 feet a minute. So we're going to level off at 5. Let me see if there's an ILS here. There's another graph in the image. There's a I'm looking at Navigraph. Let's see if we can get an ILS in here, folks. What do you think of that? Approach. ILS localizer. 11. Let me check the wind here. Just check the wind. 190, 13. Okay, we've got a bit of a crosswind. So if I take runway 236, 110.9 is the VOR. 110.9. Concentrate here in there. Not 2, it's not 2. Oh, I can do my handy little switch thing here. Side deck. Oops. Zero decimal 4. Okay. It's active. It's kind of annoying. 0.4, 0.4. Make sure we got a good reading here. And I've turned past it because I was turned away. That's why they have 2 pilots on board, one to read the charts. And that's 5,000 feet now. That's 5,000 feet. I'm under pressure now, folks. I am. Thought I should start melting now. Let's have a look at the temperature. That's the director kicking off because the director doesn't want me to crash. The director's kind of insulted a little bit. The director does get upset when things are going wrong. There's the temperature gauge. I saw the temperature gauge. It's down. Okay, we're just about 1 degree. Okay. As you notice rain. See here, I'm looking here. I'd like to reset my view, but it doesn't seem to. So we're okay. So maybe 4,000 feet. Let's see, what's the height of the ground here? Yes. We're a good bit to go. We're a good bit to go. Climbing again. I don't want 6,000, I want 5,000, please. So this is tricky. Not in exactly very... Look at the rain, though. Look, that looks stunning. Stunning. I mean, that's really quite cool. I'm going to go down to 4,000 feet. I think I should be fine. We really are bombing it down, though, aren't we? I certainly feel that little real thing. Good, good, good. Looking at my charts here. I'm down to 4,000 feet. Sometimes having a piece of paper in your hand is a lot easier. .9 for the ILS. Okay, 110.9 for the ILS. I think I can change. That is Tepic plug as followed. Tepic, welcome. And Pokies116 is also subscribed, and William Hennessy earlier on, along with Steve Ellis and King and Pulsar. Thank you very much. And Pulse PHU Lexer subscribed with Prime. Thank you very much, Lexer. I probably pronounced that incorrectly. I hope you're not too sore at me. I should be just sending a bit more. Thank you very much. Jordine Abel has become a member as well. Oh, Jordine Abel became a member on YouTube. Sorry, Jordine. Jordine Abel. I remember you quite well. You became a member again. Thank you so much. That's great. An hour ago, El Lucia has followed. A Beezy subscribed. There's quite a lot. Mitchell has followed. Thank you very much, guys, for subscribing and following. That's glorious. You won't be subscribing after you sit when this goes wrong. But the ice is melted. Look. The ice is gone. So my theory of dropping below, well, it's not a theory, it's a fact, below the icing level will fix the icing problems. 4,000 feet, that's it. Let's level off there. Oh, not like a lunatic though. Wow. So yeah, that's what you do. So you wanna go below the freezing level. So here's what I was thinking. I said something to the effect of, keep going off the wrong way here. Typically, the temperature will drop 2 degrees per 1,000 feet. So I said I'd drop 2,000 feet, so I lost 4 degrees. Is that correct? So now I'm not in freezing temperatures anymore. So that's that problem solved. So that's that problem solved. Hallelujah. Now, I was there. Thank you very much for subscribing, by the way. Now, the big issue here is I need to get somehow down to the airport. And I haven't done this, I have to admit to you. I haven't done this for a while. For quite some time. Manually. It's easy with the jets, because it's just all done for you. You get a jet guy now, and you go, oh yeah, you're doing old school stuff. So I'm trying to recant in my head what I used to do. Get out of this spot. The dog keeps barking off, and he's driving me demented. I'm stressed. I am stressed. 110.9. Plug that in. 110.9. I want nav 2, please. You can't flick between the two. I just have to switch it manually. Okay, I'll just do it manually. Okay, I can't. Standby shift and citation. It's not. Oh. It's not what I want. I want to standby. It's not working as it should work. That, by the way, was Oisk subscribed tier 1 for 5 months. Oisk, thank you very much. Thank you very much for resubscribing. I appreciate that. Oh, I've gone off course by a long way again. Brilliant. How is that happening? See the difference when you're looking away? I'm really concentrating on other stuff now. There we go. This is horrifically bad. I think it's quite bumpy. Let's just see here. Because I'm looking over here at the charts and stuff now. Let's see what happens here. Straighten her up. Right? Hands off. Hands off. The producer's going ape. The producer does not like to be ignored. Stop. Okay, try to center it here now. There we go. So I think it's drifting off. It's drifting off on me when I'm over here, you know. Now, where was I? Level graph. Okay, got it. Now it's stable, but I'm looking at it, you know. We're on a constant heading. Climbing though, although I don't want to climb. It's much harder in the sim. I actually won't come down for a bit now. Because I'm going to start asking it again if I don't. We're 58 miles away. I'm just going to have to go out and control that dog, folks. Let me take a second. This is what happens when you ignore your dog. There you go away, and it's a female dog. Yeah. Oh, that's terrible. I have to sit there. I don't like being ignored. Back in 2 seconds. Oh my gosh, I took the shit out of the whole place. What the fuck? Oh my god, the dog is very upset. Yes, the dog's not pleased. Being ignored. I'm trying to find airplane here. I'm trying not to die. Oh. The dog has gone ape. It's gone ballistic. It's chewed up stuff. The lamp's fallen off. I have a cam, folks, and you'll see it in the cam. I didn't see any of that activity behind me. Okay. So we just gotta wait now. I'm gonna try an ILS. So it's all good. Let's pay attention to the comments. Come on. Okay. That's amazing. No AP. Well, it's actually terrible. I can tell you why it's terrible. I'm not following my course at all. I'm waving around the place. I'm not on the needle. My altitude is up and down like yo-yo. That is completely out of the park. But in my defense, I'm not really concentrating on what I'm doing, am I? I'm looking over the comments. But thank you, Vruden the Great. Vruden the Great. Welcome, Vruden. It will fly straight in level for itself. I'm trying to figure out, I turned away for a few minutes. See, sometimes when you use the mouse, I don't know if it was the mouse, then it was controlling the pitch, I don't know. But we're now 54 miles away. I'm going to add full power here because it's the same. We don't have all day, really, do we? So I'm going to add full power. Maybe if I just took the props back a tiny bit, we might get it better. No, not really. Tad, maybe? No, we'll leave that. Okay. Up and down 500 feet like a yo-yo. It's shocking. I know it's to be done better than this, I know better, but I haven't done it for quite a long time. On the sim, I used to do all the fancy stuff on the sim for practice. I just have to get back into it. You get caught up with VR quite a bit. Now we're kind of on the needle. 53.3 miles to go, 53.2. So we're good. We're flying along now. I've got full power on. We got rid of all the ice. And the weather's still quite bad. I'm just trying to formulate a plan in my head. So I'm trying to recount all the stuff I've learned in the past and keep this thing reasonably level. The rule is don't look away for more than 3 seconds. Okay, I think I have a plan. Procedures. I'm trying to look up the web here for the proper procedures. Okay. I'll just wing it. We'll sort it out. So all the ice is gone. Let's see. We've got the boys with us. There's a bunch there somewhere else. Why isn't it showing up our guys? I can see their lights on alright. But their tags aren't showing up. Seriously in the soup. 4,000 feet, please keep descending. That's the light there from the wing. Let me just show you. Oh, that was awful. There. Those lights there. Line up the prop. The lighting looks really very good. Really all over the place this time. We're quite close to the ground. I can see the ground. Maybe I'll try an overhead, right? I'm going to try an overhead. And then I'm going to formulate. If that doesn't work, I'm going to try an ILS. So 4,100 feet. But that depends on how high the ground is. That ground could be, you know, can be pretty high, but it's fairly flat around here. So we're 48 miles to go. If I get this into the airport, now of course in reality you divert, wouldn't you? But I'm not going to do that because it wouldn't make interesting viewing, would it? No. But I'll tell you what we could do. Seeing as we've been on for a bit, let me know if you want to take a toilet break. I'll wait for you in the chat. See if you want a toilet break or a snack break or a cup of tea. With that weather, I turn around and head for Spain instead, says Oysk. Absolutely. Are you going to fly the original Junker on Sunday? Absolutely, Baker Fly. We're flying with Colonel Klink, and he's forcing me to fly the retro, or say the 1939 version. And I say, I can't read German. He goes, well, you're going to have to learn. We're talking about all this kind of stuff. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Yeah, it's going to be a bit of fun. There is an autopilot in that one. Very rudimentary autopilot though, but there is an autopilot. So that's great. Flying 500 feet, still can't see through the fog, says Akai lad. Yes. Let me show you the director who just destroyed my room. I'll kind of pick some of them up. So while we're in the cruise here. Yeah. So, Herr Director, what say you? What say you, Herr Director? Do you want to fly? Do you want to fly? Are you upset that I'm ignoring you? I bet you are. I bet you are. I picked up the mess there on the way in from your escapade. Oh, you're very quiet now, Herr Director. Yes. Oh. You alright? Now. I'm back. Well, the camera back. There we go. Good dog. Okay, we're kind of on our way. 5,000 feet. Good, good. That's what I want. Let's get a better seating position here. Activate the screen with the mouse. Let's see what you guys are saying on YouTube. Verdun the Great. Man, that zero visibility is really freaking me out. Hager, but you can say purple burglar alarm. From the Great. Okay. Lonely Reaper 97 just subscribed. Lonely Reaper, welcome back. Now see, it's turned off all the way to the left there. Lonely Reaper, welcome. Welcome back. Long time no see. That is brilliant. Thank you so much, Lonely Reaper. You subscribed to Prime for 6 months. Thank you for the amazing 6 months, he says. Thank you very much, Lonely Reaper. Or they say. I know, I'm presuming too much. I'm presuming everyone watching is male. And, you know, I see some like Katie and some of the others. There's a percentage of female pilots that are simming, which I think is great. We don't have enough female pilots in aviation. You know, they can be a lot more supportive than males sometimes. Do you know? If I have someone who's more experienced than me and they're female, they're generally very supportive, and they're more happy to share information sometimes than males. They're just good to have around in the aviation circles, and there's not enough of them at all. In fact, there's very few. And it's not that they're not allowed in. They do very well in aviation. It's that I don't think they choose it so much as guys. I don't know anyway. I'm not that kind of beans. But it's great to have them in aviation. So we need more females. So if there's any females watching, let's go. Come on. Get into the old aviation business. I'm Me Lou says, wait, how exactly are you going to survive this? I don't really know. I'm Me Lou. We're going to wing it. I'm 42 miles away. I have kind of a plan in my head. It's it's not the most procedural way to do it, but I'm going to do an overhead first. See what I can see. Okay. I'm just looking at the height of the airfield. It's airport elevation it's ground level. Minus 14 feet is the airport elevation. It's under the sea. Rotterdam. So it's sea level pretty much. So that's fine. So I could descend overhead the airfield to about 1,000 feet. I might go down to 800 feet. And if I can see the runway all the better, then I'm going to make up an ILS approach. And then hopefully we get in. So stick around. For certain. We are getting some serious... I didn't put this out of trim. You know, it was in trim and it just dived towards the ground there. But it is quite... The weather in Rotterdam is quite bad. Let me read it to you. Just refresh it. This is called AeroWeather, by the way. It's a free app. All pilots use it. It gives you the weather of all the airfields all around the planet. And it's coded. So the actual weather issued at 1855 Zulu. It's auto-generated. The wind is 190 at 13 knots only now. And the wind is veering 160 to 220. It's 10k or more now in Rotterdam. There's a few clouds at 800 feet. Yeah, but there's clouds. Say 10k or more, you know, but the ground visibility is quite good. A few at 800 feet, broken clouds at 1,000 feet, broken at 1,200 feet. Temperature is 14, the dew point is 13, hence it's going to be foggy. QNH is 1010, and it's becoming broken at 1,600 feet. But the forecast is not looking good for later on. So, for example, between 1,800 and 2,400, the wind is 190 and 30 knots, 8,000 meters, that's 8k. Light rain and drizzling, broken at 1,600 feet, and it goes on and 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 on. So I'm hoping if I come down to maybe 800 feet, I'll be fine overhead the airfield. We've got 38 miles to go, and we'll be good. I'd love to keep. It's so much easier in the real thing to keep your altitude. It really is. I'm not really concerned about it though. The aircraft is waving around an awful lot. The sounds are superb. That's a different sound. Right? To this. See the way the sound changes if you've got stereo speakers? That's a different sound. It's just... Hear the sound changing. Oh, it's absolutely stunning. Now I'm probably off course again. Turn there. Look at that baby turn. The minute I come away from the cockpit, 30-degree turn should be fine. The minute I turn away, it's very sloppy. Okay, so I want to go directly overhead, okay? Directly overhead. So I'm going to plan this out now. Okay. Now I know there's procedural ways to do it, but I have practiced that for a while. Benny has just subscribed. Benny, again, thank you very much. He's resubscribed tier 1 for 4 months. Benny, thank you, and Lonely Reaper, thank you. Benny has an Xbox. Look what the hell, I'm going off again here, look. Benny has an Xbox. I liked hearing from anyone with an Xbox how you're finding it. Also, Jippo0 has subscribed there as well 12 minutes ago. So Benny, thank you much for subscribing. Lonely Reaper, thank you for resubscribing. And Jippo0 subscribed on YouTube. I'm delighted. Wow. I'm delighted. We've been thrown around the place. We've been thrown around, folks. We're seriously been thrown around here. I'd like more bumping in the cockpit to simulate that a little bit more, but what are you going to do? I'd like to be able to change that, the sensitivity of the bumping around. If I put hands off there now, and let it climb a little bit. I wonder, every time, if I look away now, just go, wow! Right? So that's straight and level. Okay? Straight and level. Okay, we're climbing at 800 feet a minute, don't worry about that, we're level. And if I can make high here. Start to turn on me. Detail is superb. Just flying along this long trip, guys, you know, guys and girls. A long trip like this is so atmospheric. You know, you're going somewhere, it's real world weather. There's a bit of a risk involved. We're straight and level. What I'm doing wrong there. Interesting. So, you know, it's a real challenge just sitting here. You know, you could be sitting here on a long trip like this, going into bad weather, on your phone, chatting to your friends, emailing people, you know, doing whatever you got to do. Lonely Reaper says, yeah, sadly I've been working a lot, but you are right about me being male, haha. It's pretty, I think, Lonely Reaper, I don't think a girl would call herself Lonely Reaper. It would be more like something like female orientation, wouldn't it? Only to be expected, but yeah, I think we need more female pilots, and it's great. I spotted one there on Twitch who's obviously very popular. Damn it, what was her name? I have subscribed to her there. She's very good. She's very good. German. I love the accent of the fluent German accent. It sounds great. She's pretty good. We can rate her at the end if she's still alive. But I want to get this down to the ground first before I do anything like that. Let's have a look at YouTube. Flyfather, he says, you can't push the turbines as hard. Lots more alarms in the H145. Yeah, I put it on full power because we'll be here all day otherwise, won't we? And you don't want to watch me cruise, do you? For hours and hours, so I put it on full power. Now, it wouldn't work in the real thing. You might get overheated engines and all that kind of stuff. But now we're at 4,000 feet, really. Let's put in some more mixture here. Anything in there under those? Not really. Oh, we're 5,900 feet all of a sudden because we've been climbing for ages. Let's come back down. Just trim at that altitude, just trim it and just stay still. I don't want 1,500 feet a minute, thank you. Give me 1,000 and I'll be happy with that. just trying to trim it up now. You can't see what my hand's doing. There we go, 800 feet a minute. That seems stable to me. Great. Butterfly Man, the Scenery Explorer, could you show the cabin? Yes, I can. I can, I think. It's tricky though. Trying to adjust my throat. Cabin. So I've got the controls very cabin is, you'll see it on my video. There's the cabin. You'll see it on my video on YouTube. I just published it there today about 5 o'clock. I looked at the cabin, but the cabin is superb. There's no lights in here yet. I thought there was lights, maybe I switched them off. The cabin is absolutely superb. There's the side window. You know, look at the rain though. The rain's incredible, isn't it? It's just stunning. You know, the atmospherics of it. Let me see. Is there a cabin light in here? What's it say? Fasten your safety belts. Wanna. The cabin is stunning. You know, look at that. Rain going through the glass, the window. So it's a bit dark. It's a bit dark, but the cabin is stunning. There's 2 cabins, one with this version and one with the 1939 version. Let me have a look closer and see. I think there's cabin lights. Let me just go and have a look at the cockpit here. I'm just going to go to the cockpit. Oh. I'm going to go to the cockpit here. Level off now, 4,000 feet. I saw some cabin lights here. Dim. That's for this. Interesting. It's a good question. There's no lights for the cabin though that I can find yet. Alt L gives me my lamp light. I'm off heading there again. That's for me going back to the cabin. Not to sound like lunatics either. Okay, we're 27 miles out now. Good. 27 miles out. The VR is going to get more difficult. So my plan is, I'm going to run through it with you now. Not the best procedure. I'm just making it up. Keep it simple. That's what I say. Keep it simple. Stop climbing. Just stay reasonably within a few feet a minute. Up and down like yo-yo, folks. It's a bit stormy. Okay, so we're coming from this direction. I'm going to go right overhead. That is about a heading of 300. We are on a heading of about 300, right? You stop bobbing up and down and making me retrim. I haven't touched the power. So we're coming at a heading of 300. So we're going to go overhead. I'm heading at 300. I don't see the runway. I'm going to take a right heading. Of okay, seems stable to me. With me. have a right heading. I'm going to go back at 060. After that, I'll go out for, I'll say, 5 nautical miles. I'm going to take a right heading to 060 then. I'm going to go up for 12 nautical miles. And then I'm going to turn around for the ILS, which is heading 236. ILS. Plan is done. Whoa, if I could just keep my heading and wasn't writing down all the time. Look at this, I've got 90 degrees off course. Now you wonder why there are 2 people on a plane. So one can do all the planning and one can do the flying. It was fine, it was all fine there. You see, that's why they have an autopilot. At least we're at 4,000 feet still. Excellent. So I have a plan. Go through my head and just double check that it's a wise plan. 060, 12 miles, take a right for the ILS, which is heading 236, and I'll switch to frequency 110.9 for the ILS. And I think the ILS is going to be here. If not, if I don't have the glide slope, I think I do, I will have to work it out on the way down. So we're golden. Who would like to take a quick break? Have you all seen my little intro? I need to make more of those. D-Feature says, oh, he's not replying. Whereabouts are we, Lonely Reaper? We are 23 nautical miles to the southeast of Rotterdam. So I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break, guys. But wait, it's not boring if you haven't seen the intro. A break would be good, Bakerfly. So get your snacks, get your club milks, marathon bars, anything with sugar-coated sweets, Coca-Cola, 7-Up, a cup of tea. A cup of tea is always a nice one. Sometimes I forget how tasty tea is. So okay, we're gonna exactly 5 minutes, a short intermission, and I'll see you in 5 minutes. And now, let's enjoy an intermission. We hope you filled your snack bar full of tasty treats to eat and drink. Perhaps a tempting tasting hotting dog, or a thirst-quenching sugar drink, some fresh crunching popping corn perhaps, or an assortment of sugar-coated sweetness, even enjoying a sickness stick. We've plenty of time, so visit your snack bar now. See now, Mr. and Mrs. Barker enjoying and gorging on the lovely treats with their lovely children. You could be doing this too, you still have time. And for those of you tea lovers, let's have a look at some tea-making tips. Yes, the most important tea-making tip, of course, when you have time, is to use the right mug. Yes, the right tea mug is always the right way. Look for the GripperSim tea mug. Yes, it makes your tea taste 20% better. Now, don't worry, you still have plenty of time to make your cup of tea. Mrs. Ainsley Creetrap, what do you think of drinking a cup of tea from the GripperSim mug as opposed to the normal mug?
Lovely. It's not everyone who can make a good cup of tea.
Splendid, Mrs. Ainsley Crabtree. Now, here are the ladies discussing the 6 points of making a good cup of tea, and of course the GripperSim mug will be included. Which number will it be?
Can I remember them? Of course you can. Try now. All right, here goes. Number 1.
Obviously the GripperSim mug.
Always use a good quality tea.
Yes, of course.
Good. Number 2. Always use freshly drawn water, right?
Number 3.
Number 3. Remember to warm the teapot or urn. Everyone knows that one. And number 4, measure the right quantity of tea for the amount of water in the pot. Very good. Number 5, the water must reach boiling point. Pot to the kettle, not kettle to the pot. And the last rule, number 6,
Here we go.
let the tea brew for 5 to 10 minutes.
Damn your
before
eyes,
serving.
woman. God,
Excellent.
Whip me some tea, Mark.
Where does it all start? Sometimes here, with an acid stomach, or here, with tense, upset digestive nerves. It may even reach here, with that fuzzy, achy feeling in the head.
Are you suffering from intermission anxiety? It's the acid tension trouble triangle you're suffering from. Yes, now there's a new anti-intermission liquid, Peptus Liquid Elixir. It will break that bothersome intermission trouble triangle. It is fast-acting liquid, has no need to wait for it to dissolve as it's in liquid form. With unknown ingredients, it will settle acid in your stomach and those nasty intermission blues. Side effect of Peptus may include constipation, skin rash or dermatitis, diarrhea, dizziness, drowsiness, dry mouth, severe migraines, insomnia, suicidal thoughts, abnormal heart rhythms, internal bleeding, cancer, loss of sexual appendages, funny walk syndrome, loss of hair, reddening of the hair, big red nose syndrome, whitening of the skin, unusual voice patterns, childish behaviours, a propensity to blow up balloons, death. Break that intermission trouble triangle with Peptus. Yes, Peptus available somewhere.
Just a minute, folks. Yes, that's all it takes to visit our refreshment counter in the lobby. There you'll find popcorn and an assortment of popular candy bars to please every taste. Try one of these delicious candy bars. Big time.
Ingredients include chemicals derived from petroleum.
Butternut.
Preservatives including sodium benzoate and sulfur dioxide. No nuts included.
Milkshake.
Including wood pulp and duck feathers as fillers.
Payday.
Including propylene glycol, carcinogenic flavorings, including trace elements of starch, strychnine, and lead.
Topped with Hollywood's super rich coating of the kind you like best. They taste wonderful. They're delicious. They're nutritious. Get one at our confection counter in the lobby now.
And now a word from our esteemed producer. Such kind words. And now back to our normally scheduled programming. Okay, so I descended to 4,000 feet, and we are now 13 miles away from overhead the beacon. So 4,000 feet. So I'm going to start descending at about 7 miles out. Maybe 8 miles out. I'll start descending out. It's quite bumpy here, so it's a bit all over the place, I admit. That was GamerTube HD has just followed. Gamer, sorry, hasn't come up there in the thing, in the display. It does that. I have to change that. But GamerTube HD, thank you very much. I'm delighted that you followed us. I presume you've been watching for a bit. I suppose I'll give you a catch-up for those of you who've just joined us. So we took off about 2 hours ago, okay? We're going to Rotterdam. I went to 11,500 feet. We went into a very, very bad weather front. This is live weather towards Rotterdam. We got icing, okay? We got icing. So I decided to play around with that. And it was built up in the aircraft fantastically. Right? You can watch a recording of this on YouTube. I save it on YouTube. The icing's brilliant on the JU-52. So I descended below the freezing level. The freezing level drops to about roughly 2 degrees or 1.98 degrees per 1,000 feet. So say the academics. So if you drop, 1,000 feet, you'll lose 2 degrees basically. So we went under the freezing level, and hey presto, the ice melted as you would expect, which is great. So what happened then? Because we had a lot of weight, and it was just disturbing the aerodynamics of the aircraft. So now all the ice is melted. We're 10 miles away. I'm going to start descending now, actually. And we're now coming in. Now, the problem is I don't have the fancy stuff that I'm used to flying in the Airbus, for example. Rich. Full, and all good. Okay. So I don't have the fancy gear, so I've made up an approach into Rotterdam. Now, I should have gone, you know, usually you divert, because the weather at Rotterdam is quite bad. It was. I'll look at it again now shortly. In fact, I won't bother, because it'll just distract me. It's quite bad. So my plan is, I want to descend down it a little bit more than that. A bit more power off. There we go. There we go. Nice descent. So I'm going to go directly overhead the beacon. I'm going to go down to 800 feet. The airport is, let's say, 500 feet. Well, 800 feet will do. Oh, come on, turn! I missed it. Damn. If I don't see anything, I won't be able to do a visual approach. And because I can't see anything, that's the problem. So I'm guessing we have an ILS here. Okay, we'll certainly have an indication for the localizer. Okay, and hopefully it lights up here. It looks like this has lights. It just lights up. Yes, lights up. So then I'm going to go overhead, and we're going to descend. Here's my little diagram here. I'm going to climb up to the base of the ILS, which is 1,500 feet only. 1,500 feet. And I'm going to keep going for 5 miles for a heading of 300. And then I can take a right for 12 miles, 060. 1,500 feet, maybe 2,000 just to get away from the ground. And then I'm going to turn a right turn for the ILS, a course of 236. And before I do that, whoa, easy now, 10%. And see how that works. I can see a bit of the... This is a great relief if you were doing this for real. Look, I can see the ground. Barely. Now we're 6.9 miles. I have to concentrate now because the indication... I'm looking here, by the way. I'm looking here. And I have to be exact. I want to see this flip over. It's the VOR here. I'm on a VOR. I want to see that flip over. I want to keep my 2,000 feet. I want to keep 2,000 feet. Oh no, I want it to descend, don't I? Let's descend to, what did I say, 800 feet? We'll go to 1,000 to keep it even. So, go down to 1,000 feet. 6.2 miles out. So I have some sort of an... There goes the fuel, folks. I've run out of fuel. So we're going to crash, okay? Probably going to crash, right? But that's what happens when you don't check your fuel. Oops, sorry folks, I didn't want to pause out there really. So you'd crash, right? So let's cheat. So that's what happens. I used half the tanks there for the fuel. And I'm going to cheat. And that's what happens when you don't check your fuel. There we go. That's what happens when you don't check your fuel. Now, I'm over Rotterdam here. And I would have had a crash landing. I'm not going to bore you with the crash landing because you see that on Sundays all the time. But you see what happens when you don't plan your fuel? That's 1,000 feet there. Yeah. And that happens all the time. See how busy I was? I had all those problems. I had the icing. I had all sorts of problems. And then of course, you know, ran out of fuel. And it happens. I read reports now and again. Now on Sundays I'll do a glide approach and I'll do all that kind of stuff, but I just like to see half tanks wouldn't have got us there. At all. Come on. There we go. Now I'm way off course now, that buggered me up entirely. Let's get back onto our line. So I'm going to stick with my plan with the ILS, okay? I'm going to stick with my plan with the ILS. It's 1,300 feet now. So we have some sort of visibility, which is, I would imagine, a great relief. But still, you can go overhead and lose the runway, you know? There's everyone flying about. I want to get on. I've only got 4 miles to go. The VR gets very, very sensitive when you get closer to it. I don't have too much of an intercept now. I'm going to turn in very aggressively. and just get a nice intercept there. Nice gentle intercept. I want that just to flip over. I want it just to flip right over. So I can't see the runway. Well, that's it ahead. Okay, but I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to stick to our initial plan. I want to do the ILS. So let's do that for some enjoyment. Ice said he ran out of fuel in the PC6 yesterday. Feathering saved. Yes, you got to feather those props. So the problem with simming, I can't just grab the levers, can I? It's really... I got to set up some levers for that because this is 3 engines. I've got the levers for 2. I don't have it set up. I have the TQ6. Get on. That's beyond half scale. I'm going to get right on. I'm going to get right on the... I'm going to get right on the ILS. 2.9 miles. I'm cutting it short. Come on. I'm watching here. Sorry guys, for those of you who don't know what I'm doing here, I'm watching this guy here. That line has to be straight. I've gone past it now because I was busy zooming in. There we go. Almost. Just move my position there a bit. There we go. Let's see that flip over. 2.5 miles to go. We're overhead and we're going to do an ILS. Frequency of which is... I'll write this down so I can see it clearly because I'm going to have to change it very quickly. Is 110.9. I don't think we've got quite a wind here going on. 1,900 feet, that's fine, I'll keep it there. So an intercept, I have to, there's a bit of drift going on here. Let's pay attention to the YouTube comments, let's see what you guys are saying on YouTube. Verdon says, I call him cheater. I fly unlimited view. Oh, okay. Oh, see, that second gone past the bloody VOR and I'm 1.4 miles in the zone of confusion now and everything's messed up. There we go. Get back. See how sensitive it is now? There we go. We're on it again. Boom. 1.1 miles. Watch this needle now. It's going to flick right over. 1 mile to go. Yeah, there's quite a bit of drift here, folks. Now there's the runway. I can do a visual approach easy, but I want to try an ILS. So I'm going to try my initial plan. Let's see if that worked, okay? My plan. So going out at a heading of 300. So the VOR now is out here, okay? That's fine. I would like to see it flip over. But I'm so close to the station now, it doesn't matter. But there's the runway, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep going out here. Let me get my heading at 300 here set up correctly. There we go. I'm going to go out here for, I said 5 miles. And we're going to do an ILS now. Let's see if my little plan would have worked. So we can make a visual approach easy. Yeah? Let's see what happened if I couldn't have seen the runway. I got my 2,000 feet. I have my 2,000 feet. The more you do this, the better you get at it. You know, I haven't done this kind of thing for quite some time. I used to practice this for IOR stuff, and it really does help. It's very wavy. Good, good, good. Virgin the Great says, "Oh Lord, you're going to kill us all." Not at all. Not at all. So, there you go. Going. Taking off without checking the fuel. Not checking the weather. Hence icing. We got away with it because we went below the icing level. Get into bad weather. What am I doing here? I'm not following you anymore. And get into IMC. That's what happens. Now, I said I'm going to climb up to 1,500 feet. I'm at 2,000. So we'll leave it at 2,000 feet for now. I'll just type up to 2,000 there. I'm just sending here a little bit. So we can do an ILS and see if our procedure works if we were an IMC. Very interesting. Oh, give me my 2,000 feet. That's 2 miles. I'll give it 3 miles. We're going quite slowly, really, aren't we? We're going to go 2,500 RPM. We're going at 65. Ah, look, we're going really slow. No wonder. No wonder! It's a slow aircraft. So I'm going to give it 3 miles, and then we're going to turn to 060. And then we're going to go out for about 8 miles, I think. Because we're not going that fast, are we? So 300, 3 miles coming up. It's bumpy as hell. It's changing, heading there quite rapidly. We got our 2,000 feet, that's fine. We're going to come down to 1,500 feet for the ILS. I'll do that in the turn towards the ILS. And turning now to 060. The runway should be directly behind us. There we go. We're now on the downwind, if you like. Runway is this way, or it depends which way you see me. It's in the direction of this needle here. So we're going to go 060 until we are about, we'll say 10 DME. This is a DME here. This is this measuring 3.8 it says now. Okay, good stuff. We're looking good now that I've cheated with the fuel. Johnny F's headed off. Are you heading off, Johnny F? See you all Sunday? Okay, it's quite smooth. Oh, he landed. Okay, great. He's chatting with the others. Excellent. 4 DME now. 060, please. Keep your heading. Keep your heading. It's interesting with this. You get very good at it with a bit of practice. I might do more of this, actually. I want to practice actual correct procedures coming into these airfields. And I might do it on this. This is fun. It has it's all the old school needles, no fancy GPS, no Garmin 1000, nothing like that. But the cloud base is now getting lower. I want it to be kind of worser. Will I make the weather worser? Yes, I think so. I'm going to make the weather worser. Let's get rid of the live weather. Oh, look at the way the aircraft changed with the difference of, and we're going to go rain. Now I'm in the soup. Now I am seriously in the soup. That's not bad enough. Okay, that's good. We'll see. I want it right down to the deck. That's where I want the weather. 5.3 miles out, we're going to turn it out. I'll see you on Sunday, Johnny F. And no worries, the surprise stream is my pleasure. What you're saying over on YouTube. Virgin the Great is afraid about what's going to happen. As am I. As am I, you know, it's you know, who knows what's going to happen. Taking the right turn. Yeah, and let me get my book to 236. Oh, not you. And you book to 236. Please, I'm going to start descending. 236. That should be about there. That's done. And we're descending. 1,500 feet is base altitude for the airfield. 1,500 feet. And I can start my turn. Oh, I said 8, didn't I? Let's go to 8. So very slow descent. I'm just taking it a tiny bit of power back for the descent, you see? And then also go down. That's the best way to do it. Great. We're all good. It's not quite 060. I don't want to come in too much. Now it's all more stable, you see, because we're out of the bad weather. It's not bumping around on me anymore. Look, I don't have to trust the controls, barely. So it's quite bumpy. Verdun says, Verdun the Great says, I can honestly say I've never seen anyone turn off live weather for worse weather. We're making it worser. 8 miles. Now, I'm going to turn in from my heading, and then I'm going to switch to the ILS. Hopefully this is going to work. And I'm going to descend. Not too much though for 1500. My eyes are inside now. Don't descend at 3,000 feet a minute, please. Don't. Oh my god, I'm 35 degrees. Easy. I want that kind of a turn. Wow, it's sensitive. Simulators are very, very sensitive. I turned very, should have been a right one turn. I'm going to level off here. Now, let's switch to the ILS. The ILS is 110.9. 110.9. Okay, I should get an indication now. The ILS. God. Okay. I'm going to keep going this way for the moment. Nope, what works? I can't see a glide slope yet. Oh, look at the altitude on that, folks. Wow, I just descended right down. Will those flaps come down on me again? Turn. And now the weather's getting better. It's like I'm having bad luck getting bad weather. You know, I want bad. I can't make it worse. Can't make it worse, folks. Let's just go back to what we had. Now the weather's clearing up for me. Here, you know, I can see it's getting much better. Looks like a strip down there, but it's not. Dead ahead. I don't really want to go. I want to cross the ILS. That's the runway there. ILS is all off. Oh, I know what I've done wrong. I know what I've done wrong. Oh, that's a rookie error from many, many years ago. This is not set to the correct. At least I caught it. You know, at least I caught it. Of course, the weather's cleared up dramatically. You know, and that's not what I did not want. I did not want that to happen, did I? No, 800 feet. We are now. The glide slope is above us. It was 1,500 feet, so let's get to 1,500 feet, and let's just stick in the instruments here. Not looking outside at all. A little bit of a turn there, folks. I'll have to do it a bit late. There we go. Oh, no, easy now. Easy now. Now we're on it. We're good. We're good. I put my eyes... You can't see outside there now, okay? Because I'm going to pop my eyes out the window, and we're going to be headed towards the airfield. We're going to see lights simulating the cloud, because I couldn't get the cloud the way I wanted it. We're inside, folks. 1,500 feet. Glide slopes ahead. We've got 5.2 to go. We're still underneath the glide slope, and we're on it. I am now programmed in. The glide slope now is coming. It's coming here. It's coming down. This arrow is putting me off. It should be here. There we go. We're on it now. Let's start descending. Let's start taking some power off. One stage of flaps, gears down. 4.6 miles. Let's get 80 knots, shall we? This takes all my attention, all your attention. All my attention. It's going to get more and more sense. 4.3, going too slow, adding power. 500 feet a minute should do it. See now. Get it trimmed up. No, no, you're losing it now. Just get it very sensitive. That's the outer marker now. Who wants to bet that the airfield's right in front of me? I'll leave it a little bit longer, 3.9 miles. We're below, we're descending too much. I'm going to level off a little bit or arrest my rate of descent. Okay, there we go. Level. Losing it a bit. I haven't done this for ages. Like a couple of years. Okay, now we're on the glide slope. I think 300 feet a minute would do it now, actually. Get on it, get on it. Get on it. 3.2 miles to go. Now we're descending 500 feet, 300 feet a minute or so. But this is going the old school opposite way, which is really, it should be here. Because I'm turning right, aren't I, you know? But it's not a fault of the flight simulator, it's just that old school kind of thing. 2 miles, I'm going to look up. And we should see lights in front of us. Place your bets. Place your bets, folks. Too high. But I can fix it. I'm beyond half scale, which is really nonsense. Come on. Trimmed. It's very, very sensitive. There you go. Don't climb or you won't get it. 2.3 miles to go. Oh, good. More flaps down. Get on it. There we go. That'll do. Stop climbing. See, the flaps ballooned me there. 2 miles to go. I want to get on this and then I'm going to look outside. Come up, there we go. I can trim a lot nose down. The flaps really messed me up. They're too high, but let's look outside and see. Oh yeah, that was too early. Anyway, there's the runway. The weather cleared up. Excuse me. Now, the landing portion is going to be tricky. Yes. Flaps are down, gears fixed. So, we made it. The weather changes. It's for the good or for the worse, you know. I tried to get worse weather. Couldn't get it. We're on the Pappies. I'm visual now. We're home now. So we said. Last minutes. 70 knots should do the trick. 75 I'm at. That's good. Happy days. Remember now, this I could mess up this landing because it's a tail dragger, and I ain't the best at tail draggers, am I? Well, we'll see. I might get better with this one. Good, good, good. Come on. There's a bit of speed. Getting a bit low. I don't like that. There we go. Over the motorway. We've got the Pappies now. 2 red, 2 white. Fly down the runway. Drive it in. We're all good. We've got full flap speed is good. Getting too high. Getting too high. That's okay. Not too high because we're close, really. You know. Now the Pappies are going to come back in the last minute. Get on the centre line. Get on the centre line. Get on the centre line. Get on the centre line now. I'm going to drive it in a bit. I'm off the centre line. That's on the speed. There we go. There's the 2 wheels down. I'm going to have to use differential braking to steer. Oh, differential steering. There we go. There's the nose wheel down. Brakes aren't the best, but we made it. That was hard work, folks. And I was disappointed when I saw the runway because I wanted the weather to be bad. You know? And I think my plan would have worked. Just to come out. But we'll do this again. I'm going to do more of this during the week. You know? I'll definitely do more of this during the week because this is fun. I haven't been to Rotterdam before. Let's put the tags on to see who's been flying with us all this time. All the boys are down, waiting for Gripper Sim. There's quite a few of you. There's Benny. There's Fly 737 Max. There's Flex Force. Maybe they're just there flying anyway. Maybe they're just there flying anyway. That light is quite distracting, isn't it? With the prop. Let's just slow down here. And turn off that light. It's these ones here. We'll put the strobe off. The taxi's on. That light's on. Oh, it's still on. Okay, let's turn off the landing lights. And park this puppy. So I can't see nothing. Is that off now? No, it's not off. Come on, what have I missed here, folks? Ring light off. What light is that? If I had a light there, that would be nice. Alt L I just pressed there. Wing light off, anti-collision's on, fine. Strobes are off. The taxi light, that's what that was. That's very distracting, isn't it? So, oh, my TV here. So let's go in and park this. And actually, let me see where I'm going first. That one, folks, was interesting. Oh, that was butter. Thank you, Everton. Thank you very much. Let's reset the camera so it'll act a bit more. Look at the weather. It's just stunning, isn't it? Absolutely. There's Akai Lad. Thank you, Akai Lad, for following. Spakerfly, Global B, I think. G's 02 Owl, Benny, Johnny F. There's 77 Max. I don't know if he's with us. So I'm going to taxi. Just all the way forward and then into the terminal. And we'll see if we get the steps. Will we get the steps? Look at that, folks. Evening time is absolutely stunning. This aircraft. I have lots of power to add to start taxiing again. I didn't put on the parking brake, so that gives you a sense of weight, which is really good. Lonely Reaper said, I'm glad I was able to join you for the last few minutes. Cheers, folks. Till Sunday, safe flying. So, Akai Lad's off. Akai Lad, thanks a million for watching. And thanks for sticking around. That was quite an adventure. I'm glad I streamed it. It's got me thinking to do more IR stuff. You know, just to practice it as well. I can get very good at it on the simulator. I did many times. I hadn't flown IR for a while, and I went in the DA42, but I got the DA42 in the simulator on X-Plane. And I practiced. It was in Reyes. And I practiced the shit out of it in the simulator. And I got shit hot at flying IR, as it turned out. Because the test was to go on for 4 hours. He said, look, do you know what? You're really good at this. You're fine. You're all sorted. And he said, let me show you around the place. Let me show you around the city. We flew around the city, flew by the beach and stuff. And he was well impressed. And he said, he couldn't understand. He said, you haven't done this for years, have you? I said, no, not really. And at the end, I told him I did it on the sim. So, yeah, it does help your training. Most certainly. If anyone tells you any different, you know, tell them to go away. Benny has used 20 bits. Benny, thank you very much for the bits. I'm just parking here randomly. There we go. We'll put on the old brakes. Let's put on the parking brake. Alt L for your hat light. Oh, it's not working very well, is it? That's the parking brake there. And we can shut down the engines with the mixture. Let me get the camera there first to show you the sounds of the... Look at that airport. It looks great, doesn't it? There's no lights, though. Maybe it's not dark enough in the evening. Maybe it's not dark enough. There's Acturus there coming in. Probably wondering why all this JU... there's Benny there. They're probably wondering why all this JU Junkers aircraft are standing around. There's oil and G's. It's absolutely stunning. There's some people coming in. There's player 111-866-4743. I think you're with us. Welcome. You're in the JU-52 as well. Everyone's flying the JU-52, which is great. Let's shut down the engines. And I'll quickly change the view, then we've done that. 1, 2, 3. I love the sounds. There you go, folks. Batteries and all that kind of stuff can come off. Wow, guys, thank you very much for joining me on this Friday stream. It's been a pleasure. Benny, thank you for the bits. GameTube HD has followed. Thank you, GameTube. Benny66 again after your subscription. Thank you so much, Benny. You're very supportive. Lonely Reaper subscribed as well for 6 months. Thank you again, Lonely Reaper. Nice to see you again, by the way. Jippo has subscribed. Oisk has resubscribed tier 1 for 5 months. Thank you so much, Oisk. Topic Plug has also followed. Pokies116 subscribed. William Hennessy. Steve Ellis, thank you. King BZ followed. PH Luxor has subscribed with Prime. PH Luxor, thank you very much. It's all great. This is great. Jamie Onable, Jordan Onable became a member. Jordan, thank you very much. Welcome back, by the way. I'd say you've been busy. Alusha has followed. Beezy subscribed. And Mitchell Safatori has followed as well. And all of you, I hope I haven't missed any of you. So thank you very much, people, for joining us. I intend to take tomorrow off, but you never know, I might get it in my head to do another stream. So folks, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the YouTube video on this very aircraft there I did earlier on today, and I will see you on Sunday 2100 hours Irish time for some Gripper Sim Eye Candy Madness. And remember, you just join us, just look for Gripper Sim and you'll find us. And there's the outro. I'm looking for, as I'm talking to you, I'm trying to find the outro button. Thank you very much, folks, and I'll see you on Sunday 2100 hours.